everyone. It's the Jarek Bryan Show. My name is Jarek, and guys, on today's show, we have a very special guest. We have Cassandra from the Cassandra Club. And how are you doing today, ma'am?
Well, doing great. Thank you for the intro. That was really interesting. It was a really great day because it was like a laid back day for me. I was mostly chilling and resting and stuff. So that was a really great day. Thank you for asking. How was your day, by the way?
Doing pretty good now that I'm here kind of interviewing you. And before we get into your project and all those things, right? Kind of give us your journey kind of here to Web3, and also too, what is your role within the Cassandra Club?
Okay, so I was onboarded on Web3 by my partner, currently my boyfriend as well. So he was in love with Web3 communities, with NFTs, and this is as a whole is super interesting as well. My major lead me to be a little bit of familiar with this stuff. I worked on some stuff around IoT, IoT, blockchain, and I4. I was actually working on I5 when I was introduced to Web3, and I was like, okay, this one looks really more interesting. At the other part, I always loved writing and painting at the same time. So working as a Web3 person would give me all the stuff that I love in one place. So I could write about the project I wanted to launch. I could draw for the project I wanted to launch. And I could be interactive with people, which I really love as an outgoing person. So that was all the things I love, and the most important thing, all the passions about what is happening on blockchain and how the ecosystem works, what is going to be new at the end of the day, and it's always renewing. So that was already one thing that I loved. So when he offered, okay, I think I really want to start this project and work on the contract to get more and to know it, I was like, okay, let's do this. And we started this Cassandra Club, project together.
Okay, and you said you have a partner who is also your boyfriend too as well. What's his role within the project?
Okay, so he's basically the dev guy. He would do all the coding. He's doing the generation of art, the art generating. He's doing anything that is related to contract. Always looking for new contract to add to the project. So he's the guy behind the scene who's doing everything, and I'm the person in front who is getting all the flowers and stuff. So I thought he needs to be mentioned in this recording. So he's the guy basically doing all the hard stuff, and I'm the person who is doing the talking.
That's good. And as far as you come into Polygon and everything like that, we see you around. You're in spaces and you're all over the kind of the place. How has that kind of been talking in spaces, right? And did you originally have a fear of talking in spaces, and if you did, how did you overcome that?
Well, I think the chance that I had was I started talking in spaces in a really familiar environment. I want to give this shout out. I started my journey to start talking in spaces in Degen Chill NFT space with General, that I know most of the people actually know him already. So the first time that I was on the stage, he was really, what is the word? He was too nice. So I was like, okay, it's good. I don't have all the words that I need at the moment to give you a full sentence, maybe what I really want to do. Because that was one of my biggest fear as a non-native speaker. So I was just studying English all my life, but actually talking is something else. Talking to native speakers and give them what you want was something else. So that was one of my biggest fears. So I started with a really good environment. So he actually introduced me to good Polygon spaces after he know that we are on Polygon chain. And it all started. And I'm always saying in spaces, people on Polygon are nice in a different way from other people's in Web3. So you can really see the family vibe in Polygon people. So that made it for me like 1,000 times easier to go up there and talk to them, get to know them, and become friends with them. And at the moment, I really love those people that much that I am more curious to know who is behind the PFP. So I have this weekly space that we only, we bring up a really simple question like, what was your favorite school memory? And we get to know people more of what is going on in their life and who is actually behind the PFP. So, the whole thing, beside rambling, is that I really love the environment on Polygon, so it was really easy to go on spaces. And after you get the confidence, you can go out there and talk to others as well in other ecosystems. So, yeah, starting on Polygon made it really easy.
So you started on Polygon. You didn't have you weren't in another blockchain. You weren't like in Cardano or anything like that. This was the first place you kind of went to.
Well, we started on Polygon for different reasons, but we started the whole NFT journey, or maybe like the Cassandra club story on Polygon. But before that was like introduced to Ethereum. I know what's going on there. I knew what's going on Bitcoin. We were doing like a little bit of trading, not me professionally, but my boyfriend was doing like the trading and stuff. But at the beginning of the journey for Cassandra Club was started on Polygon.
Okay, good. No, we are happy to have you. And as far as Cassandra Club, can you kind of let the audience know what exactly is it, right? And also, what do you guys hope to accomplish?
Well, you see, I said that I'm basically in love with writing, so I started writing this story for a backup story. We have a story of a girl who has a really severe mental health issue. I was kind of obsessed with type of mental issue because this is like one of the most interesting ones, not for the person who is involved, but to see it out there. And unfortunately, not every people know about this. You can already go and talk about depression to so many people and they know what is happening. But when you talk to them about multi-personality disorder, some people even don't consider that as a real mental health problem. So I thought, okay, let's put it out there through a story. So that is why I had the story about this girl who is having multi-personality disorder. She's going to face some hardness in life, and she starts to develop these personalities to help her cope with the problems. And actually, just living with those personalities gives her the opportunity to go, forward. And who knows, maybe at the end she would be cured or not. Even I don't know now if I want it to be cured or just give it like super characters. Okay, so that's with the story part, which we in NFT world we call it like the lore of the project. And then we were like, okay, we need to add more excitement to what we are doing. And what is the most excitement that you can have for a low price? It would be like having a lottery collection. You get the ticket, you go there, and you see if you can win the grand prize or not. So, the whole purpose was pushing the story out. So we added like this excitement to help the story go more viral and more eyes on the problem. So we started this lottery project. 1,000 piece out there as a ticket. So the system works like, okay, after every 1,000 minutes, we are going to give 1/4 of the prize mint to the winner that we are going to pick through all the numbers that are already minted. So that would be like, okay, if we are on the first 1,000, you can be a winner between 1 to 1,000. If we are on the second thousand, on 2,000, you can be a winner from 1 to 2,000. So it's going on. And the art for the ticket is actually super simple right now, and the price is low. So, and the project is wide. So the outcome of that would be, okay, what will happen after the project ends? So we need something to add more hype to, after say, we are going to have our art upgrade after we minted out this one. This would be like a free art upgrade. You are going to claim your potion and you burn 5 of them and get one. So what will happen would be you have less NFT, less asset out there. So it would give you more rarity for people who are actually engaging with us as a community. So that would be really good for the community members. We are going to provide like a better feature, a better like services for people who actually would hold those NFTs. This would be like providing them with Web3 services. They are going to be our whitelist on every collection that we are going to have from now on. So, because lottery projects work like, okay, you have this lottery, this is over, you give it some time, you give back to the community, and then you should start another one. So they would be like whitelisted on other projects that are coming. And the thing that I'm really excited for this 8,000 collection is that it's actually going to help some organizations which are supporting mental health. 1/4 of our mint prize is going to be donated to projects or even institutes that are working on supporting mental health. We already started our work with one project, and they are focused basically on mental health. This is really good for us. We can just start our first 1,000, 1/4 of our first 1,000 donation with those projects. So this way we are supporting to put out more word about how important is mental health. And giving actual help to them, not only supporting but putting out work, giving them like the thing that they need most, like it would be like money for every project to go and proceed if they are a really legit project. So giving them the asset to be able to put their word out there. Sorry if it was like a long conversation.
No. It's very interesting. No. It's very interesting, and I love projects that mental health is not really like talked about like a lot, right? And mental health, I should take that back. So it's getting talked about more, right? But it's something we still ignore, right? And as far as like the mental health aspect of this kind of like whole project, right? I love the fact that you are donating to charities and whatnot. But as far as like mental health, right? And I'll kind of get into like the perks of the NFT and everything like that. But mental health to you, right? Like, how important is mental health to you, not only in Web3 but in your daily life as well?
Well, I've been through some problems since I think it was like in 3 or 4 years ago. Some really bad political stuff was happening. Some people that I really cared about, actually they were dying. And I missed my uncle to like cancer, and at the same time I was working on getting my master, and I was working and doing everything for my immigration, and everything, all that pressure just put me in a really dark spot. And getting out of that dark spot was super hard for me. I'm a targeted person, I'm an outgoing person, and this all goes until I'm not. So when it comes to talking to people about what suffers me, I would be like, okay, I don't want people to see that aspect. So when that stuff happened, you automatically go to a dark place, which you really don't want to be there, but you can't do anything to get out of there. And the worst problem is that more you stay there, you have less chance to get out as the person, as a vibrant person you've been before that happening just happened for you. And after quite some time, you just can't do anything. I mean, you can see people with really severe depression that live in a dumpster of house because they really don't want to start to do cleaning, or they get like really fat because they don't want to move. So for me, it was like I was losing everything. I really worked hard for that master, and at that moment, I was losing, like getting the best professor that I was like talking to, getting the good grades that I needed. And at the same time, COVID hit. So that was like the nightmare for a person who is super social. So I was going to back home. I lived at dorm back then. So I had to go back home. I should be like in quarantine with no friends. And I'm seeing all of the stuff happening. The news is all over the place. So the first thing that I did to put myself out there was, okay, I'm cutting all the news that's coming to me. That would be, okay, no news for me. I don't just follow any news page on Instagram. I don't just watch any news on TV. I see a post with news content. I'm going to scroll that. Basically, put my head under the snow to hear nothing and put all my focus on myself at that moment. I did that. I continue doing that. And, at the moment, I only hear like super, super important news that are vital for my life. Okay, so I started just cutting all the news from my life. I continue doing that, and I'm really happy for that. Because everything that has the worst impact on you, and if that's important for you, that will be like bigger and bigger. After that, I saw, okay, cutting the news is good for me, but I need some good motivation to go back to my job and go back to like my studying, and I need to just focus on that. So it's not always like you have this problem and you can share it with your friends and go away. Most of the time, with people who are suffering from mental health problems, the biggest problem is that they are going to self remedies, which is good, but it's not enough. You can talk to people about your problem as long as you want, but they can't give you always the best advice that a pro can. So I reach out to like a psychologist. I talked to him, and we just put it all together. My friends were out there to help me. I get the most help that I can, and I got it all back together. And so for me to not getting back on that spot is super important, and not seeing anyone on that spot that I've already experienced is like really important. So this is why I'm actually putting 1/4 of the project on that, because I really want a person who have access to help others on this kind of stuff, uh, put the money on the correct, place that is belong to.
Yeah, no, and I totally commend you fighting that battle, right? And kind of, mental health, like I said, is a very important subject, like for me, right? And anybody that's kind of going through anything, definitely, get help as best you can. But for some, like you had went through this kind of episode, right? You had all this turmoil going on, right? You had all these things kind of like just piling up, right? You feel like one that you couldn't win, right? You like the days kind of you just don't want to do anything, right? And for the people maybe watching this, right, and they're seeing this and they have that same kind of feeling, like I don't want to do anything, like this is all pointless, like I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to work out, I don't want to eat right, whatever the case may be, and they're locked in this depression. Like, what tips would you have to actually kind of like help them like get out of that hole and start maybe getting back to like their normal selves? Like, if you have any kind of tips or anything like that, would be greatly appreciated if you could share somebody that actually got out of that hole.
Yeah, for sure. I hope it doesn't sound cliche. So cut off the first thing which is bothering you the most. If it's a person in your life who is bothering you, who is like being with him, even though you love him so much, make your life like a nightmare. Cut him out. If you're working something and you are on a project or job, or having contact with people who just putting you on that dark spot, just cut them out. It won't be like at first it's like super hard. It's not easy at all because you're cutting part of yourself when you cut them out. But after just going through the process, it would be the best decision you made. And after that, make sure to reach out to a friend, and make sure to reach out to a person who you trust. Even it could be like a friend, it could be part of your family, anyone that you have like full trust in them, because it's not always easy to go to see an expert yourself. So reaching out to a person to be next to you on that journey would be really great and make it super easy. But if you don't have like anyone to do that with, there is always one little bit of like power and light in you, which is waiting for you to do the final push. Use that final push and put yourself next to, psychologist. Put yourself next to a priest. Even if you're a religious person, put yourself like next to a environment that give you those holy great vibes that you need at the moment. So I'm sure there is all darkness around your head at the moment, but there is always the little spark. You have to want to make it better and use that little spark of hope to reach out to someone to take your hand. So if that someone is me, my DMs are always open. I'm definitely not saying that I'm the professional person to do that, but I would be super happy to talk to anyone that really want to talk about something. Some people really just need to do a small talk to, put something out of their chest. If you don't feel comfortable with your friend, a really good thing of Web3 is that you don't see a face. And you can just go there, talk to people, and even if you feel so awkward that you don't want to find that anymore, you can already delete that person from your life. This is like a really bad thing to do. But even if you can even go to space and shout out your problem and, put it just through out of your chest. That is what I'm saying. Just, I think I get that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. And yeah, totally. And a lot of people, especially here now as of late, as this bear market, have kind of like lost their kind of I don't want to say minds, but it's been a kind of a dark time just because price has been down. Things have not been the greatest kind of sentiment. It definitely is very important that you do take care of your kind of mental health, and I'm very big on that. I'm trying to actually do a whole episode on mental health though, but that will kind of come out later though. But I really do appreciate you sharing that. Now, as we kind of dive back in to the art, right? I've noticed like in the artwork, there's like different on this girl's face, there's like different tattoos. Do any of those kind of like mean anything, or like what was the kind of thinking behind those different designs?
Well, at the first, we were going to say every eye, the eye colors just specify the personalities that are living to be, in the person. So if anyone read the story, the red eyes are the main person specific characteristics. So all the pain in her journey start with being born with red eyes, which is like a really rare, genetic problem. But in past times, so how people were in the past time, where religious just get over their heads and having like weird features could give you a really big trouble in life. So the red eyes were for the main character, and every character that was born with her were specified with different eye color. So far, we have like Stella added to the story, which is the first character that is born in Cassandra, and she has pink, purple eyes. So the eye color would go on that, and at first we were thinking about starting a game, so tattoos would be uh, belong to tribes that she would join. Like a multi-position if you go on that path, but that was like so ambitious, so we just started to just working on gamification a little. It's not out there yet, but the tattoos were like going to just clear out what tribe she is getting into.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. And um, can you speak on like some of the other perks that you would get with actually like holding this kind of? I know there's going to be an art upgrade, and I know you can get like different kind of into some projects as well. But is there any other things that people should know about in holding these NFTs?
Well, holding the 100, yeah, it would be 160 upgraded art will give you like pass to everything that we are going to do. And at the end, when the game would start, the main character would be the NFTs that people hold, the OG NFTs. And we are thinking about just make it more profitable for them to kind of use their character, and we give them the profit. I would be something like what Pudgies are doing. They are using 4 to 5 main character, and they are just splitting the profit with the owners of that. So we were thinking, okay, in the game, if anyone has that character, the money, the profit that would come from that game would be split to the owner of that NFT. So that's like the thinking to give to our community, to like VIPs of our community. But that's like far away, and I'm really, really trying to get to that day, and I'm already so excited for what is going to be, what's going to happen on that day, what is going to happen on that. Actually, when I'm writing the story, I just imagine everything through the. So after when we are going to just make the game. We will be like, okay, it's already a game scenario, so let's do that. And that's like our longer perspective, like strategy.
Sure. And the game that you keep referencing. Uh, when is one? When do you guys foresee that coming out? Is that something like a next year thing, right? And is the game kind of be like is it going to be like an interactive game, or what kind of game is it going to be?
Well, I don't want to put something so simple out there. I really want it to be something really great. Maybe being so ambitious. So I'm not talking about next year. Maybe in 2 years. That's a long
Sure.
period of time. I already know. But making a really good game
Hmm.
really needs that amount of time. I'm sure that everyone who is already familiar with those area and those spaces and those niche knows that making a really good game from the base is not something that you can accomplish in a year or maybe even 2 years. If you want to give it more, like give it like a great graphic or something, we really need a good team. So I'm just trying to find people who are focused on the gaming. I already know a couple of people who are working on the project. I'm waiting to see the outcome from that project to make the offer. But to be honest, the money to hire a really good developer, or maybe like 2 to 3 good, great developer and graphic designer to start a game and start the basis of the game is a really great amount of money. So I'm trying to do like as much as I can, get the basis, financial basis, and then start that. Uh, which is, I mean, this show would be like maybe first or second time that I'm talking about the final of what is going to happen, because I really want to just make the foundation and make the basis and put it out there, because people would always like question, okay, so you're talking about the game, where's the game? And most of those people even can't realize putting out the game and putting it together needs a really good skilled people with
Hmm.
really good amount of time and money. So that is like a really a 2 year perspective, maybe 2 year perspective.
No, 100%. I agree. Like, building a game does take a lot of time, and you've come in here to Web3, right? And you've had a chance to meet with a lot of people, right? And as being a women in Web3, right? Is there any women in Web3 that you look up to right now, or would like to collab with in the future?
Well, I know so many great women at Web3. You already have uh, a podcast with Maria, which is like a really great friend of me, and she's a great figure. You talked to Sally. I saw the interview. Actually, that was a really great one, and she's like a goddess on
Hmm.
and NFT collections. So I think that those are my two favorites. Let me just, I started to know really great women from other ecosystem. I was like a Polygon person. Last night I had a space with, people from, they were from, some of them were from Stargaze, some of them from like other ecosystem, and they were such a talented people, and I'm so honored to know them. So I'm getting to know other people. I'm sure there are so many talented people out there. For now, from my circle of people that I know, I think Maria is doing a super great job, and Sally.
Yeah, and like I said, all those are great. I love each and every single one of them. They're so talented, and as an artist, right, and a writer too as well. You know, everybody kind of asks you, right, like what kind of artist, like, kind of gives you inspiration, right? But what I'm looking for is what other things inspire you in your art. Like, not so much just the other artists, but like what other things, would it be like certain comic books, right, movies, nature, things like that. Like, what are some other inspirations you draw from?
Well, reading right now is reading manga, which I really am obsessed with some of them. So they were like the one who kept my writing off from that niche, and I really love those kind of writing, and having all the drama, adding all details come from that, and most importantly, I really love Gabriel Garcia. He just put the scene like in a perfect way, so he's the best inspiration for me in writing. I never can write that good. I don't have that much vocabulary in my mind. But making a scene, just having the talent of and make the room when they are reading, because you see, you read things, but your mind is creating a word for you. That's when you really enjoy reading a book, when you can just imagine everything while you're going. So he talks about every little detail that you need to know to make a perfect image. So he's a really great writer, and I really love the writing, the style of writing. About the art inspiration, for the art upgrade, I fully put my inspiration on people who I'm meeting in Web3. So I'm seeing, like, living in Web3 is like living in a forever Halloween. You see vans all over, you see bears all over, you
Hmm.
see like, you see like apes all over the Web3 and anime characters. So this is like a forever Halloween night for you, and this is like a really great inspiration. And alongside with having those really funny, cute, inspiring PFPs, the character of the person who is behind that gives you like a total different vibe. So you see, I'm not going to name this person because I don't know how he if he likes it or not. I know this guy who has a pink dragon as a PFP, and in real life he's a lawyer and he's a really super knowledgeable person on what's happening on crypto world. So seeing him would give you like inspiration of having a dragon with a lawyer closing and
Ah.
having like a balance, stuff on the
Hmm.
hand and having like all the number in the background. So I think for now my best inspiration are like all the people who I'm interacting. You see, for example, let's say Maria, you just hear that cute accent, you hear all that energy, you see the PFP alongside, and you can totally imagine like a really cute artist running around and talking so vibrant. So I think my best inspiration right now are the people who I'm meeting in Web3 because besides, and I have like a really good inspiration for my GM post. My cat is the inspiration for my GM post. So if anyone just scroll down my page, all my GM posts are cats. Cats with tacos, cats with flying, cats who are like doing desperate
Hmm.
stuff. So yeah, he's the inspiration for my GM post. And beside that, people who I started to know on Web3 are the really great inspiration for me to, currently working on that collection of artwork.
Yeah, that's great. And you keeping the inspiration from different places. I like that. Like I said, everybody kind of asks that question of, hey, like, what artist? But I think that's kind of boring, right? Because I want to see what other things you kind of like draw from. Those are things that are interesting. Like for instance, like with Sally, like she goes to a dark place to draw those spooky characters from the Drill Club, and like you, of course, you take people from Web3, and like I said, I'd like to see other areas you guys draw from, because like to do this kind of work, and it's kind of like writing and artwork. It's like you guys have to go to like a different area in your mind. It's just very fascinating to me to actually see that in like different artists. I don't know. I don't know if that's weird to you, but I just find it like interesting that people can go to those places and create such beautiful things or scary things.
Yeah, you see, when I want to write the story, about going to like those places in the mind, writing and sitting down there and writing the story is like the hardest thing I'm doing right now. Because, I'm basically like a kitten. Every little move can distract me. And when I want to write, I need like the most quiet environment. I need like to be 100% focused. I'm not saying that I'm a great writer and I'm putting like Shakespeare stuff out there, but to do what I'm doing right now, I need to be focused. I need to be like prepared with information beforehand before I start to write the story. For example, at the first chapter, the story was happening in a church, so I needed to study something about baptism and stuff. So I really needed to hit that religious part of myself. But when you want to write about this kind of mental problem, you really need to trigger that like savage part of yourself. In one place I was like imagining, okay, how should I put like the inside view of what's happening like inside her. When I was like going to be inspired for that part, I remembered. I don't know if you guys seen like the series of Supernatural.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, so the part that Lucifer just put Sammy in a cage, Samuel in a cage, and he was instead of himself in a cage. Okay, so I thought, okay, that was like exactly what happened with people with mental, multi-personality disorder. So let's put Cassandra in cage. So I should just reach out to the most darkest place of my mind, the most darkest memory of my mind. And sometimes I just feel a little bit of sad after writing one episode if it's going to be like really triggering with your mind. But reaching those places is the actual art that the artists have, or the actual art of a writer. You know, maybe all people have like those places on their mind, but having access and having like uh, getting like a really good access to those part of your brain that can help you just create this. I think that's what we call talent. Being able to get access to different pieces of our mind. For example, if you're doing math, you're just having access to that part of your mind because we all know that human brain is super big and no one can have full access to all of those parts. So I think the actual art of a person is, having connection with that specific part of the mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's almost like in a weird way, you're almost like a different person, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, that's super interesting, right? So you're speaking of art and everything like that, and you kind of like with future artists, right? And you're like you're one, and you see other art too as well. Do you believe that NFTs in the future will be a good thing for like artists, like being able to put their artwork on the blockchain? Like, how do you see that sector actually like playing out and actually being very helpful to artists like yourself?
Well, I think even already NFTs provided a really good environment for one-on-one artists. To give you an example, I know so many people from my country which are really talented people and didn't have, any income from the talent. But right now they can do a drawing, they can put it like maybe they don't have access to like having an exhibition, but they put it on an object. They can put it on, they can put it on OpenSea or other platform, Maybe and everything. So that already we are giving more voice to our artists and more voice to people who are talented on drawing. So for now, this is already really great now. But I think it is going to develop on the art aspect for like a small period of time from now, and it's going to get wider that even being used in art. You can use NFTs everywhere. I mean,
Hmm.
I know a couple of projects who already started implementing like non-fungible token on renting cars, renting houses, selling stuff which are usable, after a period of time. So, the device has like a clear history of what happened already to, like, previously in the old time, they would like write who was the owner of one art, and that would be like a password for that art. But right now, it is all just put on the blockchain, really clear with no scamming or anything. So I think NFTs are not already huge for artists, but also they are going to get huger and even something big in real life. So I'm really hoping for that day, and I see a really bright future for that as well.
Yeah, and as far as like I said, I totally agree with that. And yeah, like I said, one-on-one artists, I think it all benefit you. Of course, you guys too as well. Like, there's so many different ways NFTs can benefit like artists, even people on like music, things like that. So I love that kind of like take on that. So with that, right? I know you're like in Polygon, right? And we're talking about NFTs, right? Where do you see the whole Polygon NFT ecosystem kind of like, in this kind of next bull run? Do you think it's going to be a very kind of like booming ecosystem? Do you think Polygon will finally actually get the respect it deserves?
Well, I see a really great potential on Polygon. Recently, I've seen a really great moves as well. We have some really great announcement recently on Polygon. So I think they are moving. Maybe for quite some time, it was like stabilized. Like, okay, we
Hmm.
are an ecosystem. We have like gamification project, but I'm seeing really great moves. So I'm sure that it's going to get really great and it's going forward. If me like 1 month ago and I wasn't in touch with this recent moves on Polygon, I would be like, I don't know, but right now I'm seeing the moves. So yeah, and let's go Polygon. We're doing that already. So I'm sure it's going to go to a great place.
Yeah, 100%. And Cassandra, you have, of course, the Discord to get into. You have the Twitter and everything like that. You guys are doing a lot of things. You got the art upgrade, the game, and all these things. And you had mentioned the space. Like when, if people wanted to know kind of more about the project and also to connect with you, what time are these spaces that you're going to have? What days are you going to have them?
I host the spaces on Saturdays. It would be 9 p.m. EST.
Hmm.
With with the counting like the time difference, the time
Yeah.
change that happened. And yeah, we are there like every Saturday. It's a 1 hour space. If the conversation goes long, it can go like a little bit longer, but we really want to just honor the weekend of people. So it's like more of the asking our friend how your project went, and it's not like chilling. They would be like honest answers, like okay, like this week means what, like blah blah, those kind of friendly answers. And then the question of week, which I think you already asked one question of the week and you were like on a pressure spot to giving answer to that
Oh,
question.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know how is it going. I'm saying it's a chilling space. It's a chill space, but if you're up there, you have to give an answer to question. So yeah, we're going to extract information from you guys on spaces. Make sure to come. Yeah, that's
And
all.
so we have the spaces, right? So where do people kind of go to kind of learn more, kind of about you and the whole team? Is it more so like the website, or they should probably hop in the Discord and kind of like ask questions away? Like, which would be the best way to kind of like reach you and kind of get more information about the project?
Well, we already have every information on website, but sometimes people feel more comfortable to talk to a human and get the information, because you can't just ask answers on the website and get the question, ask question and get your answers. So if you guys love, you can there have people who would give you the answer. And if you guys are comfortable with talking to me, I'm always open and there, and we can just continue to talk. It doesn't matter if you want to like go against the project, and or maybe just go with the project. I would always be happy to give you answers, and I think they can connect us in every way they want, and I would make sure to give you the fastest response that I can.
Yeah, and also too, and you're still currently minting right now too as well. One, where can you mint? And two, what's the price to mint?
Well, we started some stuff lately. We started I totally forget to say that. We started our staking with ONFT. And like one big news for Cassandra Club was that we already were minting on our website, but we recently talked to Comet and we get the concept of Comet to start our launch there as well as our website. So it would be like accessible on Comet and our website as well. The mint price right now is 3 Matic for the first 1,000. So we didn't actually pick a white place because we started a little bit early. Uh, so we said, okay, the first 1,000 people who are just getting into community would be our whitelist people, would be like our first step people. And then after that, that means we would go to 6 Matic, which would be like the normal price that we have. But by just making the price of the mint higher, the price will get higher as well. So for now, the price for the first lottery of the first 1,000 is 750 Matic for the winner. But after every 1,000, the price will get higher. So that would be like a good way to justify why we're going to have like the higher price. And I really want to just onboard some people to the mental health aspect. So I think that would be like a better decision first.
That is great, and you guys heard it from right there too, as well. And Sandra, I know you're busy, but I do want to ask you too. Like, what are some of the? There's a couple more questions. What are some of the mental health like organizations you're going to be working with? If you can let the people know, that's really great what you're doing.
Well, it's kind of hard to onboard people who are like real life organization, which were our first target. But we saw, okay, in Web3 aspect of, looking at on Web3 aspect, there are some great projects as well as out there who are focusing 100% on mental health. We started our collaboration recently with Manga Girls. This is like an Asian community. They are working like their main focus is on mental health. So we started our collaboration with them, and I'm super happy to say that our first, charity will go through their community. We haven't discussed the detail of what they're going to do with that or from what channels they're going to use that. But if anyone is like having access to those platforms to put that money in the correct place, I would be super happy to get in touch with them. Maybe they have like a really good platform to help us. But unfortunately, sometimes the looking on the Web3 aspect is not that good. So I haven't just got a confirmed answer from any big, charity that I was like willing to work.
Okay, and I still like the fact that you guys are still working with other communities. I still like the fact that you guys are putting mental health at the forefront. I love that because I am a big advocator for mental health. I'm trying to get, I don't know if you know Tiz on the show, so we can talk about mental health too as well. Like I said, very important to protect your mental health. But with the kind of like all these things that you guys kind of want to do, I'm gonna kind of ask you this. This time next year, where would you like the project to be? In a perfect world, like God forbid, like the world doesn't end or anything like that. But where would you like to be a year from now?
Okay, so to be super ambitious, I really love to at least have our demo of the game or the main platform to be like testable for the game by this time next year. I really would love to, have at least two learnings from now on and, having but my best thing that I want is having those, rare community like family that I'm really looking to build up. Uh, I think that my best achievement this time next year would be having a great community. I think I'm looking for that as my first priority to reach out next year.
That is great, and I appreciate you coming on my show. And I love the fact that you guys are doing all of these great things. But before you go, is there anything else you want to say, or any other like community members or team members or anybody in general that you would like to shout out?
Well, I've got so many support from people to just start everything. I really want to give shout out to people who already support Cassandra Club. I'm not going through names because there are so many of them out there, but I've got really good support from my really great people on Polygons. So I think I'm going to give shout out on great Polygon communities I know, which are basically family. I think that would be like a great shout because you can pick one person. Every person is unique and nice and so is in his own way. So I think a really great shout out to all the community on Polygon.
That's great. And I do have favorites, so I do have a ranking system. So like just letting everybody know that here that there is a ranking system I have everybody ranked on. So I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Everybody's great. Cassandra, I love the fact you came on the show. I really do appreciate you. And guys, this wraps our show. If you like content like this, please like, comment, share, subscribe, download, follow me on X, follow Cassandra on X. Everything's going to be pinned down to the bottom. Check out the Cassandra Club, and I will see you guys around on the next one. Take care.
Bye.